Granite melts at over 200 degrees Celsius. To cut it cleanly, with the precision you need for a right angle, you need diamond-tipped tools, machine-controlled drill bits, and tolerances measured in thousandths of a millimeter. Ancient people in Bolivia had none of that. And yet, the stone blocks at Puma Punku fit together so perfectly that a single human hair cannot pass between them. That's not a theory, that's a measurement. So the question isn't how they did it. The question is, why does the official record still say they used stone hammers? In this video, we're going to look at 6 ancient structures, 6 real places with real physical evidence that mainstream science has officially labeled as unexplained. That's the word they use, unexplained. Not ancient, not impressive, not even mysterious. Unexplained, which means the best archaeologists on the planet, with all their funding, all their equipment, all their institutional resources, have looked at these places and said, we don't know how this was done. But here's what they don't tell you. Some of these sites weren't just unexplained. They were quietly removed from curriculum, reclassified, defunded, and in at least 2 cases, discoveries that contradicted the official timeline were published once and never cited again. We're going to look at the evidence. You decide what it means. Let's start in Bolivia. Puma Punku sits at 12,800 feet above sea level in the Bolivian Andes. The air is thin, the terrain is brutal, and it's at least 1,500 years old, though some researchers date parts of it to 15,000 BC. What makes Puma Punku extraordinary isn't that it's old, it's what the stones look like. The H-shaped blocks here, and there are hundreds of them, are cut with internal channels, drilled holes, and right-angle grooves so precise that modern engineers have measured them with laser instruments. The tolerance? Plus or minus 1 millimeter. Consistently, across hundreds of individual block stop for context. That is the precision you need to manufacture components for CNC machines. And it was achieved, according to the official record, by people using stone and bronze tools. Here's what doesn't make headlines. The rock is diorite. Diorite is one of the hardest stones on Earth. You cannot scratch it with a copper chisel. You cannot grind it with a sandstone hand tool. The Inca, who came centuries after Puma Punku was already ancient, had a word for it. They called it the place where creation began. Quote, they built nothing there. They didn't try to add to it, because whoever built Puma Punku was not them. So who was it? We don't know. And that's exactly why this site is rarely mentioned in mainstream archaeology courses. Let's go forward 10,000 years and 7,000 miles east to Turkey. Until 1994, the oldest known temple in the world was roughly 500 years old. In 1994, a Kurdish shepherd noticed something unusual in a field in southeastern Turkey. He reported it. Archaeologist Klaus Schmidt came to investigate. What he found underneath that field rewrote the history of civilization. Göbekli Tepe is 12,000 years old. 12,000 years. 6,000 years before Stonehenge. 4,000 years before the wheel was invented. 7,000 years before the Egyptians built the pyramids. It is not a primitive circle of stones. It is a complex of over 200 massive T-shaped limestone pillars, arranged in rings up to 65 feet in diameter, carved with hyper-detailed reliefs of foxes, scorpions, vultures, and serpents. Some pillars weigh 20 tons each. Official history begins at 3500 BC. At 12,000 years ago, according to everything we've been taught, humans were hunter-gatherers, nomadic, no permanent settlements, certainly no complex religious architecture. Göbekli Tepe required a workforce. It required planning across generations. It required social organization so sophisticated that it predates every civilization we've ever named. And here's the part that should disturb you more than anything else. Someone deliberately buried it. The entire site was intentionally filled in with debris around 10,000 years ago, hiding it for 12 millennia. Was it preservation? Was it concealment? We still don't know. But what was buried in Turkey is nothing compared to what was built in Peru. We're halfway through. You've seen the impossible precision at Puma Punku. You've seen the impossible age of Göbekli Tepe. What's coming is worse. In Lebanon, there are stone blocks so massive that no crane built today can move them into position. They were moved uphill. And in Japan, 80 feet underwater, there is an entire city that the government refuses to officially classify, because doing so would require rewriting every history textbook on the planet. Stay with me. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in Peru in the 1500s, they looked at the fortress of Sacsayhuaman above Cusco and refused to believe the Inca had built it. The Spanish actually wrote, in their own official records, that it must have been built by demons. You can understand why. The walls of Sacsayhuaman are built from stones weighing up to 1,000 tons. The largest stone ever moved by a modern crane is about 3,000 tons, with purpose-built equipment, months of preparation, and a full engineering team. The Inca allegedly moved 1,000-ton blocks uphill, on wooden rollers, using rope and human labor, with no wheel. To drag a 1,000-ton stone up a 15-degree incline using natural fiber rope, you'd need approximately 4,000 people pulling in perfect synchronization, with rope strong enough to hold 2 million pounds of force. No rope made from natural fiber can achieve this. The math doesn't work. The official explanation doesn't work. But the stones are there, fitted together without mortar, in angles so complex. Some blocks have 12 individual sides, each fitting perfectly against adjacent stones, that they have survived dozens of major earthquakes while modern buildings around them collapsed. And the Inca themselves said they didn't build it. They said Sacsayhuaman was already there, built by a race of giants called the Viracocha, who came before them. Make of that what you will. Lebanon. The Bekaa Valley, a site called Baalbek, beneath the Roman Temple of Jupiter, itself one of the largest temples Rome ever built, there is a foundation. And that foundation was already ancient when the Romans arrived. 3 stones in that foundation are known as the trilithon. Each one is 65 feet long, 14 feet high, 10 feet thick. Each one weighs approximately 800 tons, and they are raised 25 feet off the ground. World's largest crane, max lift, 3,000 tons. But not at elevation, not with zero tolerance. There is a 4th stone still sitting in a quarry a quarter-mile from the site. It has never been moved. Archaeologists call it the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. It weighs 200 tons. The quarry is downhill from the site. To set the trilithon stones 25 feet in the air, you would need to lift 800 tons and hold it stable while placing it with millimeter-level precision. Because these stones, like everything else we've covered today, fit perfectly. No mortar. No settling. The Romans left written records about almost everything they built. About the foundation at Baalbek, they left nothing. Because they didn't build it. And they knew they didn't build it. In 1992, a farmer in Zhejiang province, China, decided to drain a pond that had sat on his family's land for generations. What he found underneath changed everything. Carved from solid siltstone 2,000 years ago, with no historical record of their existence. A network of 24 massive artificial caves, some 100 feet tall, covering an area of 32,000 square meters. Not rough caves, not natural formations, perfectly carved chambers, with chisel marks and precise parallel patterns covering every surface. Walls, floors, ceilings, all at the exact same 60-degree angle. Consistent. Across 24 separate caves, so uniform that researchers initially suspected machine tooling. But here is what makes Longyu truly disturbing. There are no records, no mention in any Chinese historical document, no legends, no oral history, no reference from the Han Dynasty that supposedly built them. An engineering project of this scale, 32,000 square meters of hand-carved stone, completed in total historical silence. Someone built them, someone finished them, and then someone made sure the world would not know they existed. Point 1. Yonaguni Island, Japan. A diver named Kiichiro Aratake is exploring the seabed when he notices something that shouldn't be there. Geometric terraces, flat surfaces, right angles, a staircase. 80 feet underwater, the Yonaguni Monument features platforms, columns, carved steps, and formations that closely resemble intentional architecture. Geologist Masaaki Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus spent over 15 years diving this site. He concluded it is man-made, a 5,000-year-old city submerged by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age. His research was published, it was reviewed, and the Japanese government declined to officially classify the site as a monument. Because if Yonaguni is man-made, and the evidence strongly suggests it is, then the history of Japan, of East Asia, of human civilization itself needs to be rewritten. That rewriting hasn't happened. It's been 40 years. 6 sites, 6 different regions of the world, 6 different civilizations, or whatever came before them, and every single one shares the same 3 characteristics. 1. Physical evidence of engineering capability that should not have existed at the time it was built. 2. An official record that cannot adequately explain it. 3. A systematic effort, through silence, reclassification, or defunding, to keep these sites at the margins of mainstream archaeology. I'm not telling you what to believe, but I am telling you this. The pattern of suppression is itself a data point. When a single anomaly can't be explained, it gets labeled mysterious. When 6 anomalies across 6 regions share the same characteristics and the same institutional response, that is not mystery. That's a signal. Something happened before recorded history that we are not being told about. The stones are still there. The cuts are still perfect. The measurements don't change. The only thing that changes is whether anyone is willing to look. If you got something from this, drop your theory in the comments. Seriously, some of the best leads I found on these sites came from people who watched a video like this, got curious and dug deeper. Which of these 6 sites hit you hardest? Tell me below. And if you want to go further, the Anunnaki video is next. That one goes deeper than anything you've seen today. It's linked right here. I'll see you there.